I want him to sue me. I would love for him to sue me.
I saw this guy on Facebook claiming that Dan had stolen stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, what is this kind of who am I getting in bed with kind of thing?
He has to know that he did this.
And I just thought, I didn't know whether I was going to bring it up, but I just thought, since we're just being honest, I'd just bring it up to you right now.
You are absolutely correct. If it ever gets out, then I am, I can be held in the court of law, for anything I say or do, right?
It's clear, belligerent, over-the-top content theft.
Let's back up a bit. First of all, why are we even talking about the subject, whether Dan stole from another entrepreneur or not? Because we live in a world right now where it's easier to get ahead if you copy, if you cheat, if you plagiarize, and I, for one, hate it. It's why I called out Siraj Raval when he plagiarized. It's why I called out Kevin David. I've been on a bit of a crusade against these people, these so-called experts who get ahead by taking other people's work, reformatting it to look slightly different, and then calling it their own. I despise it. And look, I'm not talking about, someone being inspired by someone else's work. No, I'm talking stealing word for word or, formatting a few things and calling it your own. So that's the spirit of this video. Plagiarism is not okay. And with that said, let's talk about what all the drama is right now with Dan Lok. So another entrepreneur named Alex Charfen recently made a Facebook post where he claimed that Dan had stolen the framework of what he called the billionaire code, which he says is his life's work. He then claimed that Dan took that and reappropriated it for one of his upsells.
You said that the billionaire's code was your life's work. Would you say that's actually that's not even an exaggeration?
Not an exaggeration at all. I've been a consultant and a coach. I'm 47 years old. I started as a consultant when I was 21 years old. It's literally over 20 years of work.
Let's just look at these two images, okay? These two images right here of Alex's billionaire code and Dan Lok's what he calls the Dragon 100 path. I've got to admit, I see his point. They have so many similarities. I mean, it's harder to find differences than similarities. Layout, they both have 9 phases of entrepreneurship. They both have the same buckets from 0 to 40K, 40K to 100K, all these kind of things. The only difference seems to be the tiny stuff, literally the names of the buckets. What Alex calls a seeker, Dan calls a dreamer. Even the follow-up material, giving the profiles of these people, is eerily similar. Check it out. And I asked Alex if he was willing to call it stealing.
And it wasn't a team member. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't an accident. This is clear, belligerent, over-the-top content theft.
Now here's the crazy part. All of this is for something he calls the Dragon 100.
Dragon 100 is where I advise and consult with 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs.
And from what I could tell, it's Dan's highest upsell. Now, here's the thing. I wanted to confront Dan's team about this, but obviously they're not just gonna come on the show. I've invited him many a time, although the invitation is still out there. So what I did instead is I got on a consulting call using an alias, Ben Doverson. And Dan's right-hand man, Desmond Soon, picked up. Now bear in mind, I have nothing against this guy. He seems to have drank the Kool-Aid just as much as anyone. But I have nothing to lose, so after a little bit of small talk, I come out and just ask about Alex Charfen. And bear in mind, he doesn't know who I am. And this is what he says.
I saw this guy on Facebook claiming that Dan had stolen stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, what is this who am I getting in bed with kind of thing? And I just thought, I didn't know whether I was going to bring it up, but I just thought, since we're just being honest, I'd just bring it up to you right now.
You are absolutely correct, right? So because you brought it up, I have to give you the official legal response, okay? And here goes. Allow me to read it out to you, okay? Thank you for your recent inquiry about this situation. Please note that we do not generally respond or comment to any posts or claims that have not been proven through proper legal channels.
We are closely following the post and have redirected all trails of correspondence to our legal counsel. Our counsel will review and investigate the legitimacy and validity of such claims.
And that's all I have to give you the official response to that.
So he starts with the legal answer, but then after that, I think I said I was some social media person or something. He confides in me and goes, yeah, from one social media guy to another. This is what I really think.
If it ever gets out, then I am, I can be held in the court of law, for anything I say or do, right? But I just think it's, this is just my personal opinion. I just think it's childish what he's doing. It's a strategy. It's a black hat social media strategy. I think you as a social media manager know this kind of stuff. I've always chosen to do white hat stuff.
How is what Alex Charfen doing black hat and what he's doing white hat? What kooky upside down world are we living in right now? How is Dan somehow the victim here? But Desmond goes on and he admits that these designs are very similar, because how could you not? But seems to blame it on a person, you know, someone from Dan's team. Oh, this couldn't have been Dan. No, it's not Dan.
When you get big, you know, it is very obvious that Alex and Dan stuff look alike. Whether or not maybe one of our members on our team that was helping to put together the frameworks and the work for Dan. Obviously, you know, Dan doesn't build his own stuff anymore, right? He doesn't need to. He just tells the team, hey, here's the project, here's what I need. And so maybe our graphics designer person, you know, leveraged that, was inspired by it.
Oh, he was inspired by it, dude. This is what inspired by looks like these days. You've got to be kidding me.
I forgot to mention that there's another piece of evidence sort of definitively showing a lot of this stuff, or at least it convinced me. This is an early version. I'm flipped here. This is an early version of the Dragon 100 path where they were testing it out. This is before they kind of, I guess, tried to hide what they did. They had almost identical icons up here, the same that Alex Charfin did. I mean, it's so close. Look at this. Magnifying glass, magnifying glass. This takes inspiration to another level. Rocket, rocket, handshake, handshake. So this isn't even the concept. It's not just the concept that was taken. It's not just even the bar graph. It's not just the buckets. It's like down to the graphics. And it drives me crazy that these corporations act psychopathic when it comes to this stuff. Like normally when somebody's caught this red-handed, they'll admit it or they'll apologize or something. And it seems like Dan Lok's organization's strategy is to, we'll just say legal. Hey, legal. We don't know. Well, I guess it'll be to be determined as such time that it's determined as such time. Dude, everyone knows what you're doing and everyone knows what that means. Come on, get real.
I mean, for me, just personally, for my values, this is disgusting. And look, I mean, to play it fair here, all this stuff about Dan not being involved or being involved, maybe it's true. But this little idea of it being an intern or a graphic designer or whoever, either way, it's Dan's product. It's Dan's top product from what I can tell. Like, take accountability, man. If it's straight ripped off of someone else, whether or not Dan actually copied it himself, he sure presented it. You better believe it. Check it out.
What I'm gonna walk you through is a powerful framework. So I call this the Dragon 100 path, and there are 9 stages. Stage number 1.
Like, either Dan presented it and he's lazy and just didn't bother checking, like, where did you guys get this stuff? And he's just not creating any of his own stuff, or he knew. Either way, it's bad. This is what you're paying top dollar for if you go with Dan Lok.
I think Dan's only way forward is to take full accountability on this one and just say, dude, I messed up. And you know, if he doesn't, I think it signals to everyone what type of businessman he is. And again, you know, I played this clip literally yesterday, but it's so timely. Old Joey Diaz from the Joe Rogan Cinematic Universe. He was talking about Brian Rose, but you could literally apply it directly to Dan today and it would sound and ring just as true. Check it out.
Instead of this guy sending me an email going, bro, I'm sorry, he keeps telling me it's his interns. That's what I got pissed off about. Because claim responsibility. Even till today, he put up a YouTube video on Monday saying that it was his interns. That guy, you never want to do business with a guy like that cannot claim responsibility. That's the type of guy that'll leave you in a church.
Now, no matter what you think of this case, I think it's time we clean house with the bad actors in this industry and start calling out people when people steal, when they take other people's IP. I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and as always,
don't forget to smash like and subscribe. Thank you.
What do you get when you burn through your plastic stacks? A mouthful of money while your honey ends up hanging the cat. Broke, bust, never should have tried.